gathered in the front of the compartment, and with his final breath shouts, "You assassin!" At the sound of this accusation, all 16 eyes turn in horror as the man collapses to the floor. A knife juts from the center of his back. Chapter 2. Early on Sunday morning, June 29, 1919, Harry McBride stepped out of his bungalow door on 11th Street in Boulder, Colorado, and lent an arm to help his wife, Susan, over the single cobbled step. He had a momentary urge to kick a pebble against the stone rubble wall surrounding the porch. Silly thought for a policeman on his day off, acting like one of their children, now grown and living with their own families. Harry couldn't help feeling joyful, escorting his hard-working wife away from her household duties and away from their small, 10-year-old, gable-roofed bungalow with the partially finished second floor they'd never completed. He knew he'd pay for this day off. More unpaid hours to work. Chief Lawrence Bass was laid up again after a relapse from the influenza that had struck every country in the world. Probably more time patrolling the streets as well, to allow George Savage, the other cop, to take a day off. Harry and George had become good friends working alongside each other over the last few years. They made arrests together, swapped stories, and shared meals. True, they hadn't seen much of each other this year, what with Chief Bass's illness and having to work non-overlapping long shifts, but that would be resolved once the chief recovered. At the railroad station on the corner of 9th and Water Streets, Harry passed under the arched entrance to purchase their round-trip tickets. $1.50 each, but he could save that much skimping on lunches for a couple of weeks. Wouldn't hurt his waistline either. For the train ride, he'd selected a sack coat with matching waistcoat, contrasting trousers, ankle length, with cuffs, creased front and back, a stiff bowler, and round-toed boots. Susan wore an outfit with a V neckline over a camisole with accompanying belt. A blue bonnet shaded her smiling face. They blended in with the crowd of sightseers waiting to board the train. Susan hugged his arm. "It's about time for us to have a day together." "You're right." Harry smiled, realizing her enthusiasm dispelled all concerns regarding the expense. "This will also give my feet a rest for one day." Harry hoped one of these days the chief would purchase a motor car for the police department, to alleviate patrolling only on foot. But so far the city council refused to approve the request. This posed an increasingly difficult problem. The challenge of apprehending a speeding automobile on foot, on horseback, or with a horse cart. He wondered when the council would come to its senses and provide improved police transportation, such as existed in their larger neighbor, Denver. Harry regarded the station building. The solid stone structure of the depot was covered by a shingled roof that led to a pointed spire. He put his hand on one of the brown stones, sensing the lingering warmth from the 94-degree heat of the day before, and the unusual warmth overnight. He checked his pocket watch. 10 minutes after 9. The train from Denver would soon arrive, with passengers transferring to the Switzerland Trail. The narrow-gauge passenger cars of the Switzerland Trail would take them into the mountains, also his and Susan's destination today. The day had started out at a bearable temperature, but it was expected to end in the mid-90s again. That's why this would be an excellent opportunity to escape to the cool breezes of the mountains. He had patrolled in the heat all day on Saturday. His feet could take it, but the rest of his body was starting to have more trouble on hot days. At the age of 48, after 24 years as a policeman, the work was starting to take a toll on him. Susan had commented on how red and tired he looked when he returned home last night, and he definitely felt exhausted by the heat after a long day of patrol. But today, he planned to relax and enjoy a ride on the railroad. Shining black locomotive number 33 hissed impatiently, as if anxious to start its journey. A small stream of smoke emerged from the smokestack. The attached tender was heaped with